Welcome everyone. Welcome to the end of GDG Jam Round 1. You guys did very good and great to get here.
All right. Tonight's itinerary is going to be, first, our jam rundown, presentations, playtime, game showcases, future events, and then our final notes.
Cool, okay. Okay, so what is GDG Jam? I'm sure you guys probably know by now since starting it. GDG Jam is a game jam that allows you to collaborate with other people and make games essentially using different game engines. So what makes it different from regular game dev? You have a prompt, that's what actually gets your idea going. You form teams, you get a time limit, and at the end of the jam, you have to showcase your game.
Like you've been doing. And also, you've been learning a lot from doing mistakes and just generally like learning how to make a game, right?
Yes.
Remember, this isn't a competitive event. We're not like gonna bet you against each other or something. But most importantly, it is all about like learning and supporting everyone's game dev and all of our game making journey. So I'm just, enjoying making a game. First off, congratulations! You guys fucking finished a game jam. That's a really big deal. Huge round of applause for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my god, so much. Oh yeah, you on?
Okay, good. So what happens after this game jam?
Oh, what happened in this game jam?
Oh, what happened in this game jam? Silly me. So the game jam themes were minimalism and arcade. That's where you guys got your prompts from. You formed half a dozen teams, and you made a game in a very small amount of time. And I hope this is the most important thing, that you guys actually learned skills while doing this game jam. Yes, that's what happened.
Okay, you're kind of racing through this. But yeah, now we're going to go to the presentation. So I'll give you guys all like 2 or 3 minutes to kind of just like prepare yourself mentally. And I want you guys to like tell us briefly about your game. So all the team leaders, get ready to kind of go through all these things. Who is your team / roles and what is your game? What is the intent and mechanics of your games? What issues did you face? What lessons did you learn? And are you going to continue working on it? So yeah, I'll give you guys all like 2 to 3 minutes and then
we'll call team up.
Team leads, please raise your hand just so we can identify you. And then yeah. All right, team lead, the minute is up.
Yep.
Who wants to go first and just telling us about their game?
Hands up.
Hands up. Everyone's hands up.
Wow, crazy.
Okay, you go first.
So we worked on a game called Boss Fighter,
Which is over there?
Oh, wait.
Yep.
You guys understand? You can send that mic.
You can look it on here as well.
and so my role was to create the menus and like scene change and UIs and stuff like that. So for the main ideas for Boss Fighter is fighting a boss. So we try to create a player who fights with the boss and the boss that like try to like fight with the player. The main issue that we faced was communication, I think, and so there were like almost 4 weeks, like during the break and like before and like after the break, there were a time that we tried to like make progress in the game, but we couldn't communicate well. Like probably like some people are busy, some people went back to their like hometown and stuff like that. So we didn't make any progress on the game.
And also university work.
Yeah, also university work.
Everyone's struggling with either.
So yeah, so I think it was hard to like manage the team, and I think it was the hardest thing. And also like because all of us were beginners, we were first time making the game, so yeah, it was hard to learn like new stuff and like how to make game, how to use Unity and stuff like that.
Do you feel like you learned a lot from doing this stuff?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We because we set a time like deadline, so we couldn't like procrastinate and stuff. And I'm so happy that we at least finished the game.
Yeah. And you're gonna keep on working on it, or just leave it alone? It's cool if you want to leave it alone.
So there's one thing that I definitely need to work on it is the title, which the title page we are now using the Minecraft title page and crop out the Minecraft name and just put Boss Fighter on it. So we definitely need to fix that for copyright reasons. But yeah, so we definitely need to work on that. After that, we might just leave it alone and try to like see if we can make a new game, or like and ask like other teammates if they want to do other stuff.
Okay, everyone give it up for them. They're playing over there, and you can just kind of go around and play with them. All right, who's going to be next?
Hello everyone, I'm Mahnoor, this is Sundaria, and I'm Star, and we made Cafe Simulator. Name is still in the work, but we've got something up and built. Our team roles, I mostly did coding, and kind of like the other person did UI, scene changes and stuff like that. Sundaria mostly did the latte art mechanic, and
yeah, I did the coffee pouring mechanics.
yeah, so basically in our game, you work behind the counter at a really, really cute like cat cafe type of place. And yeah, a bunch of customers show up. Right now, only one customer can show up. So if you play our game, please exit the game so you can see more customers. But anyways, they show up. You pour the coffee out, and then you like do like a time rhythm-based game to pour the latte art.
Okay.
Those were the mechanics. What issues did we face? Everyone did like a really, really good job on their individual parts. Like everyone's mechanics were incredible. But the worst part was GitHub. We had so many GitHub problems, and like just the simple act of just putting one asset into like the thing would take hours, and that was not a fun part for me. Anything else you guys want to add?
Well, it's just like my first time doing Unity and C# and stuff. It's definitely like the biggest thing, like to learn Unity from scratch, and like in 8 weeks, 7 weeks. So
Or even less.
able to like implement a project. Yeah.
I just want to say that my aspect of the game is not that accurate. You basically just have to hit spacebar as the line object hits some nodes, but the timing was a bit off, so I really sorry about that.
That's fine.
And what lessons did you learn? So many lessons. The sorting layer is a very important thing. Yeah, just lots of random little things. Any lessons you guys want to add?
Learning Unity.
Yeah, it was a big feat.
Yeah.
Will we continue to work on it? We're not quite sure. We're
We're going to take a break.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been very high responsibility. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Everyone give a round of applause. And you're presenting. Yeah. And these guys are settled over here at this end of the room. Who's going to be next?
So I'm Ben and this is Kaya, and we set out to make top-down roguelike. That was our idea 7 weeks ago or whatever. So in our team, it was comprised of me and Kaya and one other who didn't quite make it. Game dev is a very difficult journey. Yeah. So my role was sort of lead developer in terms of code and design, although Kyle was our ideas guy. He came up with the original idea of sort of the top-down perspective and other stuff. Yep, so our game is Plague Crusader, that's what it developed into. You play it from a top-down perspective and you fight monsters in a wave-based system. And there are currently 30 waves, so we want to see someone make it to the end. Yeah, so in our intent, we originally had the idea of like procedural items as well as procedural everything else. And that was probably one of the biggest issues was scope. Our scope was huge when we started and we eventually scoped it down and down and down. So yeah, biggest lesson learned, come up with a reasonable scope. Also a good lesson was Unity version control is quite good once you get it set up. Probably a lot better than GitHub because we were originally thinking about GitHub and it's no good. Yeah. Yeah. Will we continue to work on the project? Probably not. I think that it's a well-made game, but poorly designed, as in it's a bit boring. But we'll start on something new.
Will you ever make Boss Fighter 2?
Boss Fighter 2.
Boss Fighter 2?
Boss Fighter 2, the follow-up?
Yeah.
I'm waiting
Wait,
to...
not Boss Fighter, sorry.
Yeah.
Play Crusader 2.
Play
My
Crusader
bad.
2. Perhaps. It's floating around. We'll see it in next Sam's Game Jam.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, everyone, round of applause. Thank you. These guys are situated over there.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and this is Alex. I'm the artist of the project, and he's the
Programmer? Yeah.
yeah. So basically, we made Ring Zero, right? And our intent with the game was to have like as minimal controls as we could. So we basically made it so that you could control the player with just the mouse. And
Yeah, just one button. The gameplay loop is very simple. You just start and you stay alive as long as you can. We tried to have a minimal arcade-like art style. We originally planned to have it so that the art got more minimal as you died, but we didn't have time to implement that, unfortunately. And that probably brings me on to the biggest issue with our development, and that was time management. I think most of the programming was probably done in the last 2 days, so.
yeah, and probably the second issue we faced was communication, right? Because after the first week, we kind of went AWOL on each other. And it wasn't until like Noah messaged me that I started panicking, and I started like messaging Alex, yo, what are we supposed to do? It's almost here. And then when it came down to it, we like finished it in the last 2 days. So yeah, so I'm really glad that like we kept our scope small, because like we made quite a simple game, right? And yeah, will we continue to work on it? I feel like the game has like a lot more to like bring to the table, right? Like we ended up like cutting down a lot of mechanics. Like there was meant to be a shot mechanic, right, where you could mess around with like the projectile. You could have like explosive AoE damage, stuff like that. But we ended up cutting that out because we didn't have enough time. And there's also enemy variation as well. We wanted to like incorporate more enemies. And me personally, I'd really like to incorporate like bosses and stuff like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
All right. Thank you. These guys are situated over here, and yeah, give them a shot. And they're also, I think they're the only web-based game, so you can just play it from like the browser and it works. It's pretty cool. Any other teams I want to present? Showcase?
So this is my first time actually coming here, because normally I'm busy on Mondays, but it's good to be here. I was the solo div for GPT, which is just over there. So the kind of intent was, I saw these videos of ChatGPT trying to play chess. And it would go really well, and it would just start cheating, quite obviously. And I'm like, what if I put that in a game? So there's a collection of if statements there that kind of masquerades as an AI, but I think it's pretty fun. The issues I faced, quite a lot of bugs.
As Game Jam
But yeah.
games have.
But yeah, issues and lessons kind of went hand in hand. Learning pixel art, pretty much from fundamentals to what I have there. Learning Unity. I have a bit of experience with C, so it's kind of easy to pick up C#, but it's still like some differences to learn. Yeah, and will I continue to work on it? Probably for like just here and there. Because I didn't bug test the AI, I figured it's not a bug, it's a feature. But sometimes it crashes, so I gotta fix that.
That's a feature, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for presenting. And he's situated over here on this side of the room, on this end. And yeah, any other people who want to present?
We made a game called Karma Chameleon, which is obviously based on, the name's obviously based off the song. It's a pretty straight rip-off. Anyway, it's a 2D runner, so we kept the scope kind of small-ish in terms of the gameplay. And yeah, so me and Connor worked on the code. Fu did the story slash lore slash a bit of art.
And they are.
And Sebastian. Well, yeah, the art. Sebastian did the music.
The music for our game is actually insane.
Yeah, you gotta
Like,
listen to it.
It's so good. Just try to do some adaptive music, so it's not just playing the same file over.
Yeah,
and
the
over
music
again.
is adaptive, so the closer you are to the monster that's trying to kill you, the more ominous the music becomes, which is pretty cool. In terms of issues that we faced, pretty much everything. we just updated the game like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, we've been building it like up to about 6 p.m. today. So anyway, yeah. So obviously time management. Most of the game was built over the weekend, including like, literally, like everything.
Yeah. Fu, would you like to briefly explain?
Oh
your
yeah,
role?
so,
Briefly.
So this is the lore behind our game.
Briefly.
In 206 BCE, the Dominion of the Dragons in ancient China invade Jiangsu province and destroy the homes of monkeys. As you can see, they're blowing up all the trees. Then the Buddha frowns upon this and incurs the mandate of Manchuria is a karmic spell that reverses power between the oppressors and the oppressed. And he is boom. So the monkeys become Super Saiyans, and if you look very closely, it's Steve from Minecraft, but just like highlighted in white. But he is a god, so hence the monkeys. The monkeys are super powerful. So they massacre all the dragons, which they get turned into chameleons because the mandate of Manchuria incurs karma onto them. So half of the population is wiped out. But then they found out from the blast that there are these magical blocks that if the chameleons turn into the same color and interact with the blocks, they regain karma and gain back the strength to fight the monkeys. So they sent Zadias the Redeemer to regain karma for the kingdom of the chameleons and save the chameleons.
Yep. So. That plays as a cutscene when you launch the game.
Yeah. So you should like launch the game. I don't know. Yeah. If you want.
Yeah, launch the game.
Because then you can see the pieces.
In terms of lessons, any lessons? I don't know. I learned how to use C# and Unity.
Oh yeah. I mean, we learned a lot. Obviously, like we learned a lot about like art and coding. It's lots of like it's like one of my first times building a game in Unity and Connor's first time. So yeah, we learned a lot about like
time management and planning as well, I guess.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely like planning scope. I mean, not like planning different sections, because like we plan stuff, but then it's like bunch of stuff stems out from it, and it's like stuff we want to improve as well. Like comes out like from the section we're doing like right at the end. So like so like obviously we want to plan out and like try to like foresee what kind of stuff we might encounter like during the development cycle, instead of like just like kind of putting off all the useful stuff the important stuff till the end. So yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, and in terms of will we continue to work on it, since we're still working on it like right now,
maybe probably a lot of balance increases, because we
pretty bad.
We haven't really play tested it that much, given we just
but that's pretty much it.
It works. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I think Karma Chameleon is located over there. Yep. And, like in that end of the room. And yeah, I think there's a few other games, but if they don't want to present, that's cool. Is there?
Does anybody else want to present?
One more. One more. One more. You don't have to do it. It's cool. All right. Thank you everyone for presenting. Yeah, it's really nice to learn like how everyone built the games and how many struggles we all went through, and it just kind of reminds me of the shit I went through when I was making my games last year. So yeah, yeah, you got anything to add?
I am very proud of everybody here.
Yeah. Another round of applause for everyone for making the game. Woo! And that leads us to break to play. So I want everyone to actually go around and play all these different games. We're going to give you like an hour to actually do that. It's going to be a long time, or maybe less, depending on how quick we are with it. And we are going to kind of have a voting process. It's not for like the best game or anything. It's just for all the different like mechanics, all the different aspects of the games. So every time you play a game, please scan the QR code or just go on the link there and just vote for the game, like in some way. This is just really nice to like get feedback on the game and just like kind of build it up for an event that we're going to do later in the year. So yeah, I'll let you guys all go and play games.
Continue.
Yeah, so that you can
So before we continue celebrating, we do have some events and opportunities for all of you. Hello. So yeah, we are gonna need some game updates by you guys because we have a few things lined up for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a lot in store. We got RocketWerkz, Armageddon, Game Jam Aotearoa, and a bunch more shit. First things first.
Okay, so basically, for anybody that's not aware, RocketWerkz is a AAA studio based in Auckland. It's probably one of the biggest studios that we have here. Next week, we are getting a guided tour of their studio. And everyone here is invited to attend. It's free, obviously, hopefully. And this is basically an opportunity to explore the studio, talk to some of the developers there. I mean, kind of gain the insights from people who are really the best they are at their craft. And obviously get some free food. So if anybody is interested in this, I would assume everyone is, please come along. This will be at their studio in the CBD. Does it say where their studio is located?
Well, we're going to release more specific details later.
Yes.
I think we're going to try meeting up a bit earlier than 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So just take that into account. And we are just going to meet up at the CBD instead of here.
Yes.
Okay, so in case anyone does want to come, take note of that.
And that'll be next Monday. Yeah.
So we'll be releasing a social media post about that pretty soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be excited.
Next thing. We have Game Jam Aotearoa happening. So basically, you guys just finished like a month-long Game Jam, right? Game Jam Aotearoa is like a more traditional Game Jam. It's happening over a weekend, over 2 days. And it lets you do the same things as this Game Jam. It lets you form teams, you can develop a game over a weekend, and you can apply all the lessons that you learned from this Game Jam into this one. This one's happening basically this weekend. So if you guys are interested, I know a lot of you guys are very busy, but if you do have a bit of free time or if you guys are curious, this is happening online. You can just go to www.gamejam.nz if you guys are interested. And I know a few of you are actually interested in this, so, take notice. Next thing's up. Yeah, you do.
Okay, so Kiwijam. Kiwijam is also another game jam that's happening. It's not quite as soon as Aotearoa Jam. Basically, this is one of the biggest game jams that we have in New Zealand each year. It's usually held during the semester break between semester 1 and 2. Not too sure on the dates. It might be very early semester 2 this time around. And it's kind of like the same thing, right? You make a game over a weekend, you team up with people, and you make a game. Yeah, I repeated that. Thank you, I see that twice. So, and it's being held in the Makerspace, which is over in the engineering building. You will have access to that space, presumably.
So yeah, unlike this Game Jam, where obviously it's just this room and whatever resources we could find for you guys, they actually have real resources. There's the Makerspace, which you can actually like go and build shit at, physical stuff, digital stuff, and there's also going to be a bunch of catering for this event. And it's a pretty big deal because once you're done, a lot of people will invite their family members and just like start playing with that. And it's going to be kind of fun like this has been, but like with way more teams.
Oh, and they'll probably give you cheap awards. So, awesome.
So yeah, these are like a few pictures of Kiwijam from last year and the year before. You can see people like forming teams. They're even like working on some like 3D modeling for like tech, I guess. And this is even my team. Last year we did a game called Rouse, where basically you had 2 lesbian mice who were navigating a little maze and trying to find each other. And we had like a laser coordinated kind of system. It was pretty fucking cool.
Very innovative. Yeah, very innovative.
Very innovative. And yeah, if you guys are interested, please consider coming to this. This is a massive deal. Don't miss out. It's happening this winter, and it's...
Oh, yeah. That is happening this winter, yes. And one extra point I want to make about these game jams is they're a really good way to network and find other game developers. So if you do want to meet other people that are not just in the uni or maybe just beginners, these game jams are a great way to meet people that are more experienced, let's say.
Yeah, we run it. We also run it alongside Maker Club and a bunch of other clubs, as far as I know.
Yep.
And it does have like a whole bunch of like big names associated with it. Is Mytona still happening this year?
That's still TBD.
TBD.
Yeah. Well, there are going to be like big studios like Mytona, potentially, other stuff that will be there. Yeah, so while you guys wait, you can check out www.kiwijam.org to find out more. And then, for actual development opportunities. So first showcase that's happening next weekend is going to be Indie Game Showcase. It's a perfect showcase opportunity, so do get ready for that. We're holding it at Grid Auckland, which is near MDS, or just like the kind of like the wharf, if you guys know where that is. From 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. There's going to be free entry and pizza at the end of it. And it gives you guys 2 more weeks to kind of finish up your games and potentially showcase it to a lot of people.
Yeah, if we're not making this clear enough, Indie Game Showcase is a pretty big-ish deal. Like, there's some pretty, like, developed or... Sorry? There's some people that, like, they make games and they're, like, they have some serious backing behind them. So it's a great place to actually showcase your game to people that might be, you know, more serious about it, essentially, to the wider game dev community.
There are, like, some big indie studios that do showcase the games there. So, I mean, if you want to be right next to them, consider coming. And if you don't even want to showcase, you can just come for free and just like come along. And yeah, we are going to release more details pretty soon. And then we also have Armageddon Winter.
Okay.
So just like Indie Game Showcase, we also have like a stall at Armageddon Winter. Except this time, the event is going for like 3 days, but we might be having a stall for like just 1 day for our club. So if you guys are really keen to showcase your games at the end of the semester, consider coming to this. Yeah, and if you want free entry, there's that, if you're involved. What else?
Awesome. About Armageddon?
Yeah. And then, yeah, also more details are going to be released soon on our Discord and social medias for this.
Yeah, and also, like, all these showcases, they're just a great way of increasing your notoriety in the game dev community in New Zealand, so I definitely encourage everyone, even if you feel a bit anxious about it, to participate.
Yeah, I showcased a few of my games when I, like, right before I finished making them. Very rough, very buggy state. It was still a lot of fun to see a lot of different people playing it, people who just did not know how to play games at all, people who knew how to play games and they just sat there for 30 minutes just critiquing it. I was like, okay, yeah, great, thank you, oh my god. I'm not crying, you are. And it was great to do these kind of opportunities like Armageddon Winter, Indie Game Showcase, and a bunch more that are just going to happen over the year.
Yes.
So please consider coming to these. Please consider like DMing us if you're interested. Be pretty good. And also, GDG Jam Round 2.
Okay, so thank you. So GDG round two will be pretty similar to the one we had this semester. It'll obviously be happening next semester. I mean, this will give you a chance to improve from the mistakes that you made this time around. I mean, people had problems, right? Get problems, mechanics problems, things like that. So this will just be an opportunity for you to not make those mistakes.
Yeah.
More tutorials and resources potentially coming. And at the end of this, we are going to have an awards ceremony at our AGM, which will incorporate the games made in Jam 1 and Jam 2. And there are some cool categories.
Which is why I was very adamant on you guys all voting.
Basically.
And yeah, next semester's prompt is going to be very different to what we had this semester. And it's going to be pretty cool.
It's going to be about
So
me.
you should come along. And yeah, and our final event will be
NZGDC. Okay, so for anybody not aware, New Zealand Game Developers Conference is a pretty big deal in the game developer community here. It's based off of the big one in America, that's Game Developers Conference. So what happens here? Basically, it's a big opportunity to network with other game developers, yes, but what happens in NZGDC is you have conference days where you have developers from all over the country coming from their respective studios or from whatever they're doing, and they essentially just give talks on the different stuff that they're good at, essentially. So you have like programming, art, design, business. We've had some pretty cool talks. I mean, someone last year gave a talk on TikTok, which was interesting. Another talk on like law and how to manage stuff like that if you're a game developer. This is a really, really, really awesome place if you're a game developer and you want to just be around other game developers and learn more about the actual industry, if you're interested in joining the industry in New Zealand. Now, it's in Wellington, a bit far from here, I understand. If anyone is interested in attending, in the coming months, there will be volunteering roles open, so you volunteer for 1 day, then the other conference day is free to you. That's, you know, obviously if you're a bit short on money and stuff like that. Apart from the conference days, we also have they have seminars and workshops that you can like learn from other game developers on how to do stuff. It's pretty dope. It's pretty awesome. I went last year. It was like, well, this probably sounds cheesy as hell, but it was like one of the best weeks of my life. It was so good, so awesome. I'm going on.
Yeah, you are. But most of the council here will be going. So me, him, a bunch of these guys and a bunch of people who aren't here. We are all going to be going. If you guys want to tag along, please do shoot us like a DM, and just keep an eye out for like more details when we're getting closer to it. Yeah. Finally, council roles. So.
Okay. So I think we advertised this earlier in the semester. We still have a few council roles that we haven't filled in yet. If anyone is interested in helping out, I mean, we have a few different things like secretary or admin, some specialist coordinators for art or code, social media manager, yeah, that'd be great. And any general execs, which is basically just like helping around the club with whatever thing we might have to do. So if anyone is interested, I urge you to apply, join us. We're not as scary as we look. Just like an addict now. Yes.
Yeah. So any amount of help is going to be very valuable. So if you guys are interested, please give us a DM. Be like, hey, I want to help out. Like even like maybe once a week when semester 2 gets started would be super nice. And you do get to get a bunch of like industry insights. So I don't know, pretty cool. Anyways, thank you everyone for coming. Scan here for all of our links as usual. We are going to be trying to upload your games to our itch.io page. So make sure you guys have like a properly updated itch.io page for your game, or upload your game to itch.io if you still haven't built it properly. And yeah, now